What's up guys, Justin Morgan here, Carved Up Vegan Muscle, and this video I want to talk about some of the differences between fatigue and strength, because many times people will go on to like high volume kind of programs, and by high volume I mean there's just a lot of work being done when you measure the overall work, sets times reps times weight being used. Maybe there's a lot going on. A small off is kind of a good example of that. It's not necessarily using high reps, but it's using a lot of work compared to what most people are doing. And a lot of times strength, overall strength, will actually go down at certain times during a really high volume phase like that. And people will think, well, this clearly isn't working because I'm getting weaker. But in reality, it may be working, just not the way that you think. Because oftentimes, or to get stronger or to make long-term progress, we over time accumulate fatigue. So if you want to squat more weight, so maybe you'll start adding in days of squatting. So maybe you'll squat 3 days instead of 2 or something like that. And you'll start to accumulate more fatigue. Now most of the time, if you're doing something like that, going from 2 to 3 days per week on any given lift, then you're probably going to just keep progressing. It's going to allow you to progress more. But that's not always the case. Sometimes you will accumulate fatigue until you adjust to the higher amount of workload that you're putting in, and then you'll see more long-term progress as a result. So I'm a really big fan of doing the lifts pretty often, pretty regularly. So I've kind of adapted that over time though. Sometimes people will jump like full into something and they may actually see a little bit of strength loss as a result. But and then in the same token, they'll turn around and go to a kind of low volume program right after that, or some type of low frequency, whatever, and they'll see a lot of results. And they'll think, oh, well, clearly this is working for me. But in reality, that might not be working that great either, because you might just be reducing the fatigue that you were experiencing from the high volume and kind of capitalizing on the gains or increases in strength, muscle, and all of that that you made over the last month or so doing the higher volume training. So those are just some thoughts. It's kind of, when you start talking about programming, it's kind of like it can be tricky in how to progress forward in doing something, because while I really prefer to do higher volume, more frequency, not kind of low volume per day, but high volume over the course of a week, so high frequency training, that can also be detrimental if, say, or unnecessary, I guess is probably a better way to say that than detrimental. But if you are making a lot of progress doing 3 days a week of something, then there probably isn't really any reason to move on to 4 or 5 days a week of training. So it can kind of go both ways. There's kind of a sweet spot, a happy medium in there that you should look to find in your training and how you progress with anything. So that's it. If any of you guys are interested, I will be taking on some more people probably in January for the Carved Up Gladiators Arena. Everyone is competing and doing stuff. So everyone that's been part of the group has either competed or will be competing within the next few months. I myself and my wife Anita will be competing tomorrow, actually. So that's it. You guys can contact me at justin.morgan.coaching@gmail.com. Look me up on Facebook, whatever. So that's it. You guys take it easy, and I'll talk to you whenever I post the next video. I'll probably be updating my Instagram with footage of the meet from tomorrow. And as far as YouTube, it may be a week or so before I put something together or get anything out in terms of how the meet went and what happened. But I anticipate doing fairly well, and hopefully put up some really big numbers. You guys take it easy, and I'll talk to you next time.